The Secret. This is a book, and it's called The Secret, a treasure hunt. And now I'm getting treated like a tourist because I'm walking around with a camera. All right, so here we are outside the heart of the New York Stock Exchange. It's crazy. You ever think you'd be doing like a treasure hunt in New York? That doesn't necessarily mean that, because I don't think you could dig in the cemetery. That would be, you'd probably find something else than treasure.
Hey everyone, my name is Michael. Mike, Mickey, or hey you. During the pandemic, I started a podcast like everyone else in the world. But then my fiance introduced me to the Disney vlogging community. I've had some amazing adventures, met so many new people, and made lifelong friends. I want to share it all with you, so come along as my story continues with something I call Mousepiration.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to what has felt like forever since we last vlogged, but I actually think I'm in the location of the last vlog we did, which is below the Verrazano Bridge at Fort Wadsworth. I have a beautiful view of the city behind me. This is my favorite place in Staten Island. I mean, you cannot beat the view. I said in the previous vlog and a couple of vlogs that I wanted to do some exclusive type of vlogging that I've never done before, and it's important for me to do this type of vlog because it holds a special place in my heart, as well as it's just really cool. And it's a really nice way to take my roots of New York back with me through Florida, because we're gonna explore some of New York areas today. If there was any quote to talk about the vlog today, it's adventure is out there. If you are a fan of the show Expedition Unknown, you may know where we're going with this. But if you're not, I am going to introduce you to... Now, I learned about this book from watching Expedition Unknown, which is hosted by Josh Gates. And my dad showed me this episode, and it kind of got me and my dad hooked on what is The Secret, a treasure hunt. So if you're not familiar with it, let's talk about that.
This book was published by Byron Preiss in 1982. Byron Preiss personally buried 12 treasures around the United States in these handmade casks. And inside the cask, you'll find an associated key. After you solve a location of the buried keys and dig it up, you must then mail in that key to the publisher to receive a rare gem. This gem is said to be worth $1,000 back in the 80s.
So this book is all about immigration. Now, immigration serves as a backstory to kind of these fairy tale characters. They've got some really unique photos in here. However, the treasure hunt is right in the front. So in the beginning of the book, you'll actually find some images and some poems that accompany those images, kind of revealing the location of these treasures. And of course, what better place to bury a treasure than here in New York, where the publisher, Byron Preiss, is from. He's actually from Brooklyn, right across the bay, which is probably why a lot of people believe that the treasure's buried in Brooklyn. So, let's go explore some of these theories.
We've established that this is the New York painting. We can see in the detail of the woman's face in the painting that it represents the Statue of Liberty. Also, the bottom part of her dress could be the outline for Lower Manhattan. Now let's take a look at the associated verse. In the shadow of the gray giant, find the arm that extends over the slender path. In summer, you'll often hear a whirring sound. Cars abound. Although the sign nearby speaks of Indy's native, the natives still speak of him of hard word in 3 vols. Take twice as many east steps as the hour, or more from the middle of one branch of the V. Look down and see simple roots in rhapsodic man's soil, or gaze north toward Isle of B.
It's crazy, a whole group of monks just showed up too as I'm leaving, which is pretty cool. I'm heading back to my car. Like I said, I think the first place we're gonna go is we're gonna head to Manhattan, and I'm gonna show you Josh Gates' theory and what was explained on his episode of The Secret on his show Expedition Unknown. But this is the last time I'm visiting Fort Wadsworth in a very long time. And if you have a chance to come to Staten Island, or you live on Staten Island, don't sleep on this place, because it's beautiful. so I just got off the ferry and I'm about to head towards essentially Wall Street, because that's where Josh Gates started out. But man, like, just the memories of getting off the ferry, like, take it for granted while I was living here. And now I'm getting treated like a tourist because I'm walking around with a camera. All right, so here we are outside the heart of the New York Stock Exchange, and this is where Josh Gates actually started his episode of Expedition Unknown, The Secret. So Josh Gates actually talks about the great giant being George Washington. There's a statue right behind me, and he has his arm extended over a slender path, which is directly behind me, leading up to Trinity Church. So we're gonna take our walk up towards Trinity Church, because one of the cool things about The Secret, or about that photo in New York, they say you can see everything in that photo from the dig site. But of course we have to make our way to the dig site, and this is New York. There's not a lot of places to dig. There's a lot of concrete around. So we're gonna go ahead and follow underneath the shadow of the great giant. We're gonna go ahead and follow the arm that's extended over the slender path and head towards Trinity Church. And I'm not saying this is the great giant. I don't agree. But without showing you the episode, I kind of want to take you through the steps that Josh Gates took me through. So like I said, you can see George Washington up there. He's got his arm extended over the slender path. Let's go ahead and take a walk. In summer, you'll often hear a whirring sound, cars abound, and we'll get to that. Now, it also says the most important thing is, although a sign nearby speaks of Indies native, well, the most famous Indies native of all time is Alexander Hamilton. So it's funny that we're heading towards Trinity Church, because that's exactly where Alexander Hamilton is buried. It's crazy. You ever think you'd be doing like a treasure hunt in New York? I never thought that'd be something I would ever do. But there's a special meaning to this treasure hunt for me personally, and I'll explain that in just a little bit. But here we are at Broadway and Wall Street. I'm going to cross over to go check out Trinity Church. All right, so they have a lot of security at Trinity Church to actually go into the church here, but it seems like you can walk around the cemetery, and this is again where the most famous Indies native is buried. That's right, Alexander Hamilton is buried in the Trinity Church Cemetery. Now, the cemetery, or the headstone, is actually pretty important, because in the book it does say where his name is written in hard word in 3 volumes. So hard word, you would think stone, carved into some kind of stone, and here he is buried in the Trinity Church Cemetery, and his name, of course, is carved into his headstone. That doesn't necessarily mean that, because I don't think you could dig in the cemetery. That would be, you'd probably find something else than treasure. But we'll keep going. So right there is Alexander Hamilton's tomb, and then if I look at the church itself, there's also that clock up there that appears in the painting. So we are seeing some similarities, which is why people could believe that it's somewhere around here. But again, I don't think Byron Preiss is going to bury a treasure in one of the most famous churches in New York City in a cemetery. So while I'm here real quick, let me just go ahead over some of the things that we followed. In the shadow of the great giant, which was George Washington, we headed down the slender path, which led us to Trinity Church, which has that clock on it. We found Alexander Hamilton where he was buried, which is pretty incredible. Now, it also says to keep in mind that his name is written in hard word of 3 volumes. So once you get to Trinity Church, it's kind of like a dead end, but we're gonna head towards the aisle, or one of the aisles of B, which is Bowling Green. So we're gonna head down to that Charging Bull location, almost back from where we came from near the ferry. Let's take a little trip. Now, we're going based off of Josh Gates stating that the Indies natives referred to in the New York poem is in fact Alexander Hamilton. And I think that is definitely a good starting point. However, Alexander Hamilton is mentioned all around downtown Manhattan. So here we are going across the street into what could be an Aisle of B, which is Broadway or Bowling Green. So of course, you've got your Wall Street Charging Bull with some set of balls right there. And this would be Bowling Green Park directly behind it. Now, it's still kind of unclear how Josh Gates really made his way down to Bowling Green. Even Josh Gates himself says that once he gets down to Bowling Green Park, his trail runs cold. That's because I think he started in the wrong place. All right, so there's Bowling Green Park. I'm on the other side of it. Now, I did say that the book, The Secret, The Treasure Hunt, is all about immigration, and here you can see Immigrant Heritage Plaza. And right behind me is the National Museum of American Indians, which is also home to the Alexander Hamilton Mint. And there are just so many things that are identifiable in the painting right outside this building as well. And like I said, this is also serves as Alexander Hamilton's mint in this building. So like I said, Alexander Hamilton is just mentioned so much. Now you do have a couple of lady faces up there that could match the painting. You also have the eagle up top there. You have Alexander Hamilton mentioned on this building. There's just a lot of similarities, but I don't think this is our starting point just yet. But I'm gonna go ahead and pause it for now, and we will be back with part 2 later on this week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that stupid notification bell so you know when we do put out content. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up. If you don't like this video, just hit the thumbs up anyway, because it really helps out my channel. And until next time, we hope to see you real soon.